Most people believe inheritance is an event, something that happens once. Powerful families see inheritance as a process, something that unfolds slowly. That difference matters. An event is emotional. A process is controlled. Trusts exist to remove emotion from wealth transfer. They assume people will disagree. They assume temptation will appear. They assume someone will eventually make a bad decision. So they design rules that operate without debate. Those rules don't care about feelings. They care about preservation. That's why trusts often feel restrictive. Restrictions aren't punishment. They're protection. Without restriction, money accelerates. And accelerated money breaks. Trusts slow everything down. Access is delayed. Decisions are filtered. Impulses are blocked. This isn't cruelty. It's discipline. Most wealth disappears because it moves too fast. Trusts exist to control speed. Another thing most people misunderstand is flexibility. Trusts aren't rigid because families lack trust in each other. They're flexible because they anticipate change. Laws change. Markets change. People change. Trusts are written to adapt without rewriting ownership. That adaptability is invisible to the public. From the outside, nothing moves. From the inside, everything adjusts. That's how wealth survives instability. Most people plan inheritance as if the future will be calm. Powerful families assume the opposite. They assume volatility, they assume conflict, they assume pressure, and they plan accordingly. That's why trusts often include conditions, education requirements, age limits, behavioral standards. Not because families are controlling, but because they understand incentives. Incentives shape behavior. Behavior shapes outcomes. Trusts align incentives with preservation. They reward responsibility. They delay recklessness. This creates a different relationship with money. Money becomes a resource, not an entitlement. Another reason trusts work is that they reduce visibility. Ownership attracts attention. Attention attracts scrutiny. Trusts obscure ownership without hiding assets. They exist in legal frameworks, not shadows. That distinction matters. Wealth doesn't need secrecy. It needs discretion. Trusts provide that discretion. They keep wealth present without making it obvious. Most people chase transparency because transparency feels honest. Powerful families value opacity because opacity creates distance. Distance reduces interference, and interference is expensive. Trusts also protect wealth from internal conflict. When rules are clear, arguments end quickly. There's no negotiation, no persuasion, no manipulation. The structure decides. That's why trusts survive generations while verbal promises don't. Words fade. Documents endure. Most people underestimate how much wealth is lost through family conflict. Trusts anticipate conflict before it happens. They don't rely on harmony. They rely on enforcement. This makes them feel cold. But cold systems are stable systems. Warm systems depend on people behaving well forever. That never happens. Trusts accept human imperfection and build around it. That's why families who use them don't talk about them. They don't need to. The system works quietly. And while outsiders assume wealth was passed down easily, the truth is it was engineered. Carefully, slowly, without drama. Trusts don't guarantee success. They guarantee continuity. And continuity is the real advantage. Most people try to create wealth once. Powerful families try to make wealth repeatable. Trusts make that repetition possible. They turn money into a system instead of a moment. That's why wealth outlives individuals. Not because of luck, not because of intelligence, but because of structure.